Welcome to Beauty Will Save the World. Today we'll be reading some Chinese classical poetry by Dufu. This is a translation by Kenneth Rexroth. Did some wonderful translations back in the 60s. And he's always been termed as the father of the beats. He was crazy about poetry, classical Chinese and Zen poetry. And this collection has about 3 classical Chinese poetry from Tang dynasty, but we'll just be reading the ones by Dufu today on the theme of friendship. There's some nice poems here on the theme of friendship, and as poets or artists who have always felt out of place in society. Some of them have tended to find deep friendship with other artists and other poems who probably have understood their look of the world. Yeah, and so these are a few poems about Dufu and his friends, and about how you can see friendship was important for him, because he had lived quite a difficult life. At one time lost his son in a famine that had attacked China, and he moved a lot, escaping sometimes from leaders who probably didn't agree with, or regimes that persecuted people like him. So he always found himself living in very humble huts and almost like a hermit, But all this misery he went through, he never forgot poetry. He always wrote, and he really treasured his other poet friends, whom they shared with poetry now and then, and learned the craft. And wherever he went, he always carried his poems with him. That's how they survived, and we are able to read them right now. So first I'll read one called Tu Pi Su Yao, I think a friend of his, and a fellow poet probably. And he says, "We have talent. People call us the leading poets of our day. Too bad our homes are humble, our recognition trivial. Hungry, ill-clothed, servants treat us with contempt. In the prime of life, our faces are wrinkled. Who cares about either of us or our troubles? We are our own audience. We appreciate each other's literary merits. Our poems will be handed down along with great dead poets. We can console each other. At least we shall have descendants." So I think at the end there, it's a beautiful way of him acknowledging people who will be reading, their poems along with the great dead poets as their descendants. And I guess that's the true descendants of any artist or poets or musician, is people who still preserve and enjoy their works. And it doesn't really matter, where or you come from, or, how you got to it. So another one is called Visitors. This one, I think, sort of illustrates this hermetical way of life, and his bouts of poverty, which he didn't really mind, because I think he really enjoyed that quiet life, like the Terrence Malick famous movie called A Quiet Life, A Silent Life. This German who refused to join the Nazis, and he just wanted to live in the mountains, looking after his cattle and tending his family and all that. So Tufu enjoyed this, and however humble it was, he's always ready to offer something to a friend. So Visitors. I have had asthma for a long time. It seems to improve here in this house by the river. It is quiet too. No crowds bother me. I am brighter and more rested. I am happy here. When someone calls at my thatched hut, my son brings me my straw hat, and I go out and gather a handful of fresh vegetables. It isn't much to offer, but it is given in friendship. So I thought that was pretty beautiful. And the next one I'll read is Farewell Once More to my friend Yan at Feng Chi Station. This is perhaps my favorite of Tufu poems. The bitter, sort of feeling of loneliness and the nostalgia at the same time, and despair at the same time, when he's saying farewell to one of his friends. And for somebody who's been away from their friends for so long, they would understand this sort of feeling, and sort of you see Tufu here giving in to that sort of despair, that sweet despair that comes with that nostalgia and loneliness. So we'll read. Here we part. You go off into the distance, and once more the forested mountains are empty, unfriendly. What holiday will see us drink together again? Last night we talked and walked arm in arm in the moonlight, singing sentimental ballads along the banks of the river. Your honor outlasts 3 emperors. I go back to my lonely house by the river, mute, friendless, feeding the crumbling ears. So that's Tufu for you, and those 3 lovely poems I wanted to share on the theme of friendship. And it's good to see that for even somebody who lives such a difficult life and almost hermitic life, that still valued and his friends and enjoyed friendship, and was always willing to participate in the gift of friendship. And to back it up, I will read one poem from Wendell Berry's Piece of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. And it's also about friendship and how sometimes you can always plan to meet and do things, but we never actually get to it. So most people can maybe identify with this poem, who find it hard when you're all grown up and everybody goes on with their lives, and it's hard to find that free time to fraternize. So The Plan by Wendell Berry. My old friend, the owner of a new boat, stops by to ask me to fish with them, and I say I will, both of us knowing that we may never get around to it. It may be years before we are both idle again on the same day, but we make a plan anyhow, in honor of friendship and the fine spring weather and the new boat, and our sudden thought of the water shining under the morning fog. So that is it. And if you have a friend out there who you love and miss, reach out to them, talk to them, and make plans. Maybe one of them will come true. And even if you don't make plans, sometimes it can be spontaneous and not planned, but then you end up having the best time ever. So that is Dufu from 713 to 770 AD, like over 1,000 years ago. And Wendell Berry, not so long ago, has been writing since the mid 20th century. This book was published in 2018, so across over 1,000 years between the two writers, but the feelings and the importance of friendship still shines through. So this channel is about books, of course, And that's why, like, I do the videos, because I really want you to see the copies, the hard copies, and it's nice to touch them and smell them, and encourage you to get your own. Just the same way other channels have always inspired me with books I didn't know existed that I end up really loving, and poems that you can't find anywhere else unless you have the book. So they might not be online or anywhere or really famous, but they may end up meaning so much to you and maybe becoming your favorite poems. So from Wendell Berry and Dufu, and here at Beauty Will Save the World, we say bye bye and like and subscribe. Thank you.